So, what do you do if you are Run Disney curious, but you're not sure where to get started? Luckily, Heather has some tips. Where would you like to start with the Run Disney tips, ma'am?
Well, let's start with can we start with training?
Before the Run Disney race, of course.
Yes. So I would like to start with training, please. Thank you. Um, here's my thought. If you're somebody who is thinking about possibly doing Run Disney, especially if you have never done a race before, few things to know. Number one, Run Disney I have found to be so extremely friendly for new runners, for beginner runners, for back of the pack runners, for party pace runners. If you are somebody who is just dipping your toe or even thinking about dipping your toe into it, um, putting on some running shoes and getting out there, I have found it to be welcoming and friendly and a safe spot to give that a try.
But can I ask a question as somebody
Mm-hmm.
who has never actually run a Run Disney race? That this is one of my anxieties is, okay, let's say I'm a beginner. So you're telling me it's
Mm-hmm.
beginner friendly. How do I know that they're not going to scoop me up on the course in front of everybody?
In front of everybody? Well, that's part of the training. So the minimum pace requirement for a Run Disney race is 16-minute miles. That 16-minute mile starts with the very last people who cross that start line. They are called the balloon ladies, which people fear, but you should not. They're very lovely ladies. They are going to hold a consistent 16-minute pace the entire course.
And are they at
Uh,
every race or
they are
just
at
longer
every
races?
race,
So
every single race,
even the 5Ks.
every race. You've got the balloon ladies there who are going to be holding that 16-minute pace. That being said, if you start in a corral earlier, when you think about these races, you could have upwards of 12,000, 15,000 people participating. It takes a while for people from the first corral, which is usually corral A, and that usually goes all the way down to corral G. It takes a while to get all of those people released. Inside of each corral, you'll have several waves. I mean, you're looking at the possibility of, depending on which corral you're in, even if you're in that very last corral, having several additional minutes, possibly per mile. So right there, you've got a little bit of a buffer. If I was new and starting it, though, I would definitely aim to have that 16-minute pace and then hope that maybe you get a little bit more of a buffer. If you do that, you're not going to get swept from the course. You'll be safe.
Okay. Can we talk about the one time when we were at Disney World and you decided to make sure you could test your own pace in Disney World and you took off and I didn't know? And I was like, why is she walking so fast away from me? And you were like, oh, I was just practicing. I was like, oh, because my childhood trauma told me that you were abandoning me.
It's just, I was in my head. I was thinking now would be a great time to check to see how fast I could walk in case I needed to walk one. So yeah,
And,
sorry about that.
and it did work for you because you have now done multiple Run Disney races without being scooped.
Yes, that was the confidence booster I needed right then in that moment to be able to do it.
Mhm.
But start sooner than what you think you're going to need. Especially, like I said, if you've never done it before, start sooner than what you think. Lots of training plans out there will have like a 12-week, or you may have just seen everybody run the marathon weekend, like one of the races during marathon weekend, and you think, I want to try that. Don't wait until the official start date for the marathon programs that Run Disney puts out or your favorite influencer puts out. Instead, I would start now. Don't the longer and more time you have to uh, work on your endurance and your pace and all that, the more confident you're going to feel. And the goal of, at least for me, for a Disney race is to not just finish, but finish well and be able to go to the parks afterwards. I don't want to be hurting or in pain or spend my time in bed trying to recover. I want to be able to end joyously and get to the parks and enjoy the parks too afterwards. So that's
Training.
I would say that. If you struggle with it, my favorite way is to gamify. Like, I gamify everything in my life anymore because I'm at an age where I need a reason. So run someplace where you know you can get your favorite drink or a coffee or a Diet Coke, or where you can meet a friend or grab brunch, like, create a reason to get out there and do it.
Yeah, and we should also say you have a milestone birthday coming in a couple weeks, and that was, I think, part of your motivation for running, like,
Mhm.
now or never, and I had the same milestone birthday a year ago. So it's never too late. Like, you can get started at any age,
Yep.
and I think there's lots of people there, right, from all generations.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Um, and the it is impressive, the display of athletes who are at the runDisney races. You have people in all different bodies, all different ages, all different abilities, and they're all freaking athletes, busting it, kicking booty, doing great. So, with that being said, walking, I think, is a tool you can use, and it's not a sin. There's no way I could walk a 16-minute pace for a whole race, but plenty of people do. My legs are short, and I'm not a fast walker. But if you can, incorporate run walk, the Galloway method is a huge thing in runDisney sphere, you're gonna be great. So that would be before you even hit the course, you should be trained and prepared and hopefully in a place where you'll be relaxed and able to enjoy and have fun.
What's next?
Um, you want to the great thing I think about the runDisney races is not just that it's beginner friendly, that's fun too. It's a whole experience. I view runDisney races as my reward for doing the training. I view my local races as the proof that I've been putting in the work. When I approach a runDisney race, I'm not looking to get a PR or to outdo myself from a previous race. I want to run at a pace that gets me fast enough so I can meet all the characters that I want to meet. And stopping for characters means I'm never going to get a PR there. So,
But also, if you don't stop for characters, you're kinda missing the point of a Run Disney race.
yes. And there's lots of people who will never stop for anything, and you can get your BQ, you can Boston qualify at the marathon. There are people who are hardcore that's what they wanna do. They're elite athletes. They wanna run the race because it's a Disney race and they wanna run through the parks and they don't care about the characters. But for me, the registration is not inexpensive. It's a hefty chunk of change, and traveling there isn't inexpensive. And I want to get my value, and part of the fun for me is to, stop for characters. So that's something else to kinda keep in mind, I guess, when you're training too, is if that's a goal that you wanna be able to stop for characters, you're gonna have to have a pace that will allow you. Sometimes
Mhm.
the character lines are short, and it's 2 or 3 minutes. Sometimes the character lines are long, and they can be upwards of 20 minutes. Now, if you are a 9-minute miler, that's not scary. If you are at a 16-minute miler, there's no way you can stop for a character line that's long and still make it across the line. So that would be something definitely to think about is what kind of experience do you want out of the race? Are you going to go just set that PR, or are you going to go just to enjoy the whole experience? If you're the latter person and you're going for the more chilled, relaxed, you just want to enjoy it, get your character photos, run through the parks, enjoy all that. Um, I think that takes some of the pressure off personally.
Mhm.
Save the pressure for when you're, like, at home and you can sleep in your own bed, because that's one of the big things negatives about Run Disney races is the alarm clock, which is brutal.
Yes, it's in
Um,
the middle of the night.
it is the middle of the night because it's fun to run through the parks, but they're not gonna let you run through the parks when the parks are open or when it could be open. So to do that, buses start picking up at the Disney resorts around 3 a.m.
All Disney resorts?
All Disney resorts, all on-site resorts. You can also drive. We have successfully taken Lyft as well. Um, but on property, I think using the Disney buses is probably your best bet. It's that alarm is very, um, it's rough. I'm not gonna lie. It is not easy getting up And if you're doing a challenge, so if you're doing like 2, 3, or even 4 races in one weekend, that's that many days in a row that you're waking up. And that is a little rough on the old
Does
body.
does the starting time vary depending on the length of the race? Because like a 5K doesn't take as long as a half marathon.
Um, I think the only one that varies any is the half marathon starts maybe 30 minutes earlier. I may be wrong, but they all start at the same time and within 30 minutes at the same time. It's just
Okay.
that sometimes you're gonna like the marathon, the park delays like Epcot delays opening for the marathon. And it might delay opening for the half marathons too by 30 minutes.
So 3 a.m. is a pretty typical bus start time.
Oh, yes, the bus it's always gonna be a 3 a.m. bus. 5K, it doesn't yeah. Super early, super early. Unlike other races too, some races you have the option to pick up your bib same day. It is mandatory that you pick up your bibs ahead of your races for Disney.
You're saying
That's the
some
official
non-Disney races, you pick up your bib same day, but for Disney,
Yes.
it's earlier.
Mm-mm. It is you need to pick it up ahead of time. That being said, I have read accounts of people having success picking up their bib at the race, but
Mhm.
you forfeit, like, your shirts and anything else. You just should just expect and you not to be able to pick it up, and if you do, you're only gonna get your bib. So you pick up your bib a day early, at least. The expo is a lot of fun at Disney. If you've never been to a race expo before, it's you pick up your bib, you get your gear check bag, which is the only bag you can use to check gear to pick up after the race. You get, that's where they have all the cute Brooks Run Disney shoes.
Yes, if you guys have ever seen the character-inspired shoes or the attraction-inspired shoes,
Mhm.
this is where they are, and they're often very limited quantities.
Yes, very limited, and they'll have, like, race-specific ones, and they'll have just generic character ones. The race-specific ones tend to go the fastest because people want a shoe to commemorate the race that they just ran or they're gonna run. Your Run Disney merch, they'll have vendors, like, if you forget something, like, you forgot your gels or sunglasses, or you want a cute different outfit or a costume, because costumes are a big deal with Run Disney races, you can get those at the expo.
And that's just before the day of your race sometime.
It starts the day before the 5K, and it continues through the day before the last race. So however many races there are that weekend, you'll
Okay,
have that many.
so even if you arrive on Saturday, you'll be able to go for a Sunday race to
Yes,
the expo.
correct. Yeah, you
Alright.
just have to get there before it closes. Grab your bib and you'll be good. Um, can we talk a little bit about race day etiquette?
We can talk about race day etiquette, but you were talking I have a question, because you were talking about things to do beforehand, like with training, but another thing you have to do beforehand is registration.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
So, like, chronologically, because that's something to stress about. Like, the training is something to stress about before you get there because you gotta, be fast enough,
Yeah.
but also you have to get registered.
Yes. The registration for a Run Disney event is similar to trying to buy tickets to a popular concert
Mhm. Like
because
a
there
an Eras tour.
yes, it is limited availability and everybody wants in. So, it's very competitive. Spots will go within 30 minutes. Lots of things will be gone. If you would like to participate, just go ahead and take off work. As you know, I put it on our calendar,
Heather
our
Heather
internal
Heather
calendar.
Heather takes off work.
I take off to do registration for Run Disney events because it that is what it's like. You just like with a lot of Disney things, you enter a queue, you get placed in a queue randomly, and then depending on where your spot in the queue is, you'll kind of know what your chances are, and then you hit the floor running when it's your turn to register. You want to make sure you have all of your information ready to go. I recommend having a note or a Google Doc or something opened where you can just copy and paste quickly your information. Unlike when you go to buy something, like when you go shopping and you like put something in your cart, it like holds it. With Run Disney races, it is not like that. It will look like there's something open and you can click on it to register, and then all the spots can sell out while you're entering in your information. So nothing
Mm,
is guaranteed until you hit
that
submit.
that is such a bummer.
It is a huge bummer, and that has happened to me before. So don't.
That's how you know.
That's how I know. That is how I know.
But
Um,
do you to optimize your chances, I know that you will have multiple devices going.
yes, yes. Which is kind of a controversial thing, but don't hate the player, hate the game. I'm. I know I'm.
Well,
I know I'm
but
not the only one
also
who's doing it.
but once you register, you release your other spot, so it
Yes,
moves everybody up. It's not like it does anything to anyone. You're only taking a spot.
correct, correct. Yeah. So, and you can also tell that other people are doing that, not just because I know other people are doing that, because your time in the queue will jump. Like, it'll go slowly, incrementally, and then all of a sudden you'll jump ahead, 45 minutes. And that's because people ahead who had
Mhm.
8 windows open, um, are closing it. So it's like different devices. I also recommend using different browsers.
Different browsers and multiple people because you can register other people.
You can. And so this is where you have to have a strategy with whomever you're going with. There are 2 ways you could do that. Number 1, you could register everybody on one transaction, or you could register one person, get them secured, go back out, register the next person, go back out. If you were only going to do the race, if you and all your friends can get in, I would do it all in one transaction. Then everybody's in or nobody's in. If you are going to do it no matter what, and it would just be nice if your friends can go, do them one at a time.
That's good because it would be a shame if everybody was trying to register themselves and like 2 out of 5 get in.
Hmm.
It's like, well, now what? But if you're all doing it at the same time, then it's we're all in or we're not.
Yes. Yes. If you somehow miss out, which will happen for a lot of people if you miss out, um, you have the option to do charity bibs. There are charity bibs available. Just know that when you sign up to do that, you are also committing to raising however much money that organization is asking for in exchange for the bib. And your bib is not released until you have reached that requirement. I have gone that route before. It
With
is very
Gi with Give Kids the World.
with Give Kids the World. It is very gratifying to
Mhm.
do that. Um, and if you're somebody who likes to do that and you have people in your sphere that will support you, then absolutely go
Can
charity bibs.
can we talk about your method for raising money, which was to tell people, "If I don't get money, you're gonna make me do a horrible thing," or something like that?
Yeah, yeah. I
She
threatened
used she used
myself.
emotional manipulation.
I absolutely emotionally manipulated patrons from WW Prep School that if
Mhm.
I could not get enough money raised, I would have to do something terrifying that I don't like, which was one of those big swingy things
At
in
Disneyland?
Orlando. No, in
Oh, no.
Orlando. You know what? I can't think what it's called. Like, it's like a slingshot
Oh,
thing, and it's
yes.
not at Disney World. It's like
It's
on I-9 or
it's
somewhere.
like a carnival ride, yeah.
Yep. I was going to do that. Thankfully, we raised enough money and I didn't have to do it. But it was touch and go there for a while. I was scheduling my appointment with a therapist on how to get over my fear of heights, but
Yes.
I was going to do it.
That's a pretty awful thing. That'd be like me saying, "I'll jump in the ocean." No.
Yeah.
I
No.
I don't wanna do that. I don't wanna do that.
Yeah. So I think the charity bibs. Oh yes, and then the last thing. Um if for some reason, like the last thing with this, if for some reason you don't get your bib and you don't want to do a charity bib, there are instances where charities return their bibs and people have to say, "Hey, I can't race," and they return their bib. You don't get your money back and you can't defer, but people will release their bibs back to Disney. When that happens, Disney will then release bibs back out to the public, and they don't announce it, but there are alerts that you can sign up for that come through apps like Telegram or even Slack or Discord that I think it's Run Diz alerts,
Mhm.
and you will get a notification that those are open, and it's just whoever's fastest. And it's literally 1, maybe 2 at a time, and it's literally whoever's fastest and can get registered. we have been successful with that as well. So I am a real live person who has had success with that to be able to get somebody who didn't get registered initially registered.
Mhm. And are anything else on registration before we hop back to etiquette?
I don't think so. I think just if you are in the Disney sphere and you've bought tickets or done things before, it's going to feel familiar. You just the faster you can be, the better.
Okay. All right. So what is race day etiquette? I am excited to hear this because I have no idea.
Well, I think this is important, and I didn't realize how important it was when I was new to Disney races, but I realize how important it is now after I have several under my belt, and especially since it's so many new runners that participate. Um, in that there's just general race day etiquette period for all races, and just like when you go to I'll use an airport where you have new travelers. I think Orlando Airport is a good example of that, where you have people who aren't necessarily used to
Mhm.
traveling by air. Um, Knowing ahead of time how it works, I think makes it easier on everybody on race day. So you get placed in your corral based upon your time. To be in one of those first corrals, like usually A, B, C, you'll get placed up there if you provide a proof of time. That proof of time will prove to Disney that you can run that pace, with the idea that you keep people in the same pace as kind of grouped together, that it will go more smoothly, right? The hiccup comes when um, there are character lines and people are stopping. So you have people who are maybe a 9-minute mile or who are stopping for characters. And if they're in Corral C and you've got people who are slower who have already started and they're stopping. So now you've got people with mixed paces are all starting to kind of get mixed together, right? So that's where it becomes very important that if you are somebody who's slower or if you plan on walking, you want to stick to the right side of the road. Um, Don't the left side, just like when you're driving, left side for faster people, right side for people who are slower. If you are a run walker and you are transitioning between running and walking, your hand goes up. Raise your hand up real high and start making your way over to the right. Do not raise your hand up real high and stop. Like you want to start merging. So you want to go from running, walking, you're going to merge to the hand side. If you are with friends, you do not create a wall of people. It's very difficult, and even when you're not with friends, you're just going with people who are running the same pace or walking the same pace. Just like when you're on a highway, it's very annoying when there's 3 cars who are all going the same pace and you can't get around, so just be mindful of that. I am guilty of doing all of these things wrong several times during a race, but I try to be better, and I think it helps, and it makes everybody's experience a little bit better if people can just kind of follow those rules. Don't stop in the middle, just like when you're in a car, don't stop in the middle of a road. People will see the mile signs, and they're so cute. They're usually like big and lit up, and they always have a character, and people like to take a picture with them or whatever. But you can't just stop in the middle of the road and do it. You gotta make your way over there and take your turn and get your spot and then merge back into traffic. So just treat it like you're in a car, but it's your body, and just, yeah, slower to the right. I think that's the big one. Slower to the right. I am definitely on the right-hand side because I am
Mhm.
slow.
You get your hand in the air a
Yeah, just
lot.
just like I'm waving it like I'm in school.
That's just to be seen. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of short.
I'm
Can make sure you see.
shorter. I'm short. Short and
Mhm.
slow.
Okay, what else?
I would say the last thing, just wanna talk about real quick, um, what to kind of maybe think about taking with you for race day, especially after seeing, um, how warm it was for marathon weekend and how cold it is right now, and I've got the Princess Half Marathon coming up just over a month from now, so that weekend. So, it's kind of the same concept as what you do for the parks, is that for these early races of the year, for marathon, princess especially, you wanna have at least be prepared to have throwaway layers, things that you can just toss along the course that you don't care that you're gonna lose. Goodwill is a great place to get things like that. Robes are awesome because you don't have to take anything off and you can just wrap up. Mylar blankets. Ponchos, if it's going to be rainy. Last year, they had several very rainy races. So having ponchos that you can try to keep warm while you're waiting for the race. Because remember, those buses are picking you up at 3. I think the races start at 5 or 5:30. So you've got hours where you are outside with nothing but a sea of porta potties, and no place to like really get undercover. Um, your pre-race snack, because you might eat in the room at 2 a.m. while you're getting ready to go to the race, or 2:30 if you're like me and you're just going to wait to the last minute. But you're going to need something else probably as you get closer to the race. They do have concessions that are open. You can buy coffee. There's a DJ. It is a whole vibe the morning of the race at when you're at the race start. So you do have the opportunity if you forget to bring a snack, you can buy that. You can get like I said, coffee. There's DJs. There's characters. There's bleachers for if you have spectators that are joining you that they can sit and hang out and watch things. You'll want to have your ID if you are like me and you need a parking lot beer afterwards because it is a reward for doing the race. So you'll need to have an ID. You'll need to have a way to pay. So a Magic Band, your credit card. And then if you do decide that you want to check anything, you are provided a bag at the expo. That's the only bag you can use. And you can put, shoes to change into if you want to change your shirt because, you're going to be sweaty or you think you're going to go into the parks afterwards. If you want to bring like some wipes or something to kind of try to clean up a little bit, if you're going straight into the park, you can bring that and have it there waiting for you when you get off the course. So there you go. That's a
Hey,
lot. That's a
it
lot.
is. But there's so many sections to this niche, though. And this is
Mhm.
just another one. And like you've been doing this for 20 years, and this is just like a newer one for you. And so it's
Yeah.
fun that there's kind of all these different paths to go down.
Yes, yes. It's very exciting. We'll have to when I ordered my costumes yesterday. So, for this next race, my costumes. I don't go all out, but I did get them ordered yesterday, so maybe I'll give you a peek of those when they get here because I'm very excited. That's part of the fun is, just like going to Disney, getting to play dress up a little bit, even if you are almost 50 years old.
Mm-hmm. All right. So thanks for sharing those tips. If people have like comments or questions, feel free to leave them below and then we will get back with you. But thanks for following along with the Run Disney tips.